We do have to ask ourselves, how did we get to this? What are the roots of this environmental crisis? What are the deep roots of the environmental crisis? It's not the fact that some minor aspect of economic theory to do with pricing hasn't been tweaked and calibrated to some modest extent, thereby causing the problem to go away. The roots of the environmental crisis lie much deeper than that, both in terms of the kind of civilisation we built for ourselves and also in terms of the scale of time we have to look at to think about questions like where did we go wrong in order to reach the point at which we are, and equally importantly, how could we put things to rights? And that's why I think Geoff's book is so incredibly timely, because it does provide, I think, an incredibly important corrective to that extremely impoverished competing set of worldviews that we're being asked to choose between. And I'm not suggesting, therefore, that we should all go out and join the next rally devoted to the proposition that climate scientists are all part of a satanic conspiracy to collect research money by manufacturing non-existent crises. But somehow we have to find the way of being responsible citizens in that space, while not allowing our understanding of what really needs to be done to be constrained by the narrowness of that contemporary debate. Now, Geoff's been able to do this, I think, in this book. He's drawn on an incredibly diverse array of experiences. I even wrote this down just so that I would not chicken out at the last minute. I was going to describe him as a naturalist, but that always gets confused with naturist, and you can get in terrible trouble there. But an engineer, a conservationist, an activist, and dare I say it even, a theologian. He has somehow managed to successfully combine all these different perspectives to provide us with some really serious understandings of the deep roots of the environmental crisis that take us through some of the great critics of the kind of society we've built for ourselves today, of the system, whatever it is that you care to call it, whether you call it la technique, whether you call it high-tech capitalism, whatever your particular flavour is. But we've got Mumford, we've got Illich, we've got Jacques Ellul, we've got Schumacher, we've got Thomas Berry, we've got the ideas of an impressive array of thinkers distilled, but I think also, more than just distilled, taken from the global scale down to the local scale and back again through discussion not just of Geoff's personal involvement, because, as I've said, he hasn't just been theologising about this stuff, he's been an activist. He's rolled up his hands and literally got his fingers dirty in various activities ranging from rehabilitating wetlands through to, as I was just discussing with Alan Roger before, and there are some great photos of it, building domed houses out of mud that apparently didn't require frames to stop them from falling over. So somehow there's a fantastic combination of theory and practice here, and it's very unusual to see that. Inevitably, most attempts to think through the environmental crisis tend to collapse into either a bunch of kind of alternative technology buffs going on and on and on about projects that they've been involved in as if somehow they would solve the problems of the world by themselves, on that hand, or alternatively, at the other hand, people with very philosophical history of ideas, theological, dare I say it, worldviews, who can kind of give you a good sermon that you walk out of whatever secular or religious church you're in feeling really great about, but 20 minutes later it's all kind of wafted away because you can't quite work out how it applies to real life. So one of the things I really like about this book is that Geoff has managed to bring these different perspectives together in a way that I think genuinely provides us with some opportunities to think through solutions to problems as well as how the problems came about in the first place. Now, this would be the point at which I'd actually tell you in great detail what's in the book, but of course, since my job is to make you want to buy it, it would be very silly for me to do that, so I won't tell you who the murderer is, except that perhaps, a bit like the Orient Express, there are multiple culprits, and the solution's going to involve thinking and working on multiple fronts as well. And so in a sense, this book, I think, is designed to start a discussion rather than to close a discussion off by offering pre-packaged, simplified, ready to go out and apply answers straight away.